And God bless the broken road that led y'all straight to us. Okay, so we came up with an idea where I would begin the show with an obscure lyric, and I picked, I think, arguably the worst one. So I apologize for that.
God.
Welcome to another episode of A Literal. My name is Bill, of course. With me are my co-hosts, serial lottery loser, Charlie Fletcher.
That's me.
And disgraced nuclear physicist, Geordie Young. Welcome back to the show, everybody. We're going to be discussing today we're obviously the elephant in the room, the absence of, this is hard for me to talk about, everybody. Our dear friend Mike is on life support. Remember we told you about that horseback riding mustache accident that he had in the Pacific Northwest?
It was mostly a mustache accident.
Well, he was on horseback when it happened.
Yeah, but mostly the mustache is what killed him.
Right.
Or almost.
It's a lot of, it took a lot out of him to have that mustache.
I heard that he ruptured every internal organ.
Oh, I don't mean to laugh. It's just what a way to for tragedy to befall somebody.
I feel like if you're gonna go, that's the way to go.
Go.
You know, you don't. It's who wants to go peacefully? You want to go kicking and screaming on a horse.
Death by mustache.
You want to go,
but
out
we haven't lost him completely. You know,
as far as we know,
we're holding on.
He's still in our thoughts.
He's gonna pull through.
So we need you guys to all send thoughts and prayers to Mike at alliteralshow.com.
One like, one prayer.
Yeah, one like equals one prayer equals one life-saving thing.
Moreover, one subscribe equals one prayer. So,
yeah, and one follow and one
way
review.
to do that. Let's really monetize
It's
this.
it's actually exponential,
right.
guys. So one follow and one 5-star review with a nice write-up equals 3 to the 96th power prayer. Yeah, that's how. I'm pretty sure that's the math.
That is a math. You did one math.
I did a single math.
Geordie Young did his first one math on the show. Also, we're going to be discussing. Geordie, I understand you found some fun gifts from Mom in the closet.
I wouldn't say fun, but they're definitely gifts from Mom.
Definitely gifts from Mom.
Hi, Mom.
I got you this gift. Thanks, Mom.
Thanks. Thanks a fucking lot.
Thanks, Mom. I have it now.
I currently own this, and now I have to figure out what the fuck to do with it.
And so we'll get to that in a second. But I got some things I want to talk about real quick.
Some things.
First of all, you guys know this internet influencer, a gal named Belle Delphine. Does that sound familiar?
Is she the bathwater girl?
Yeah. So she sells online currently. You can purchase her bathwater.
The fuck out of here.
You
didn't hear about this?
You can purchase her bathwater. Yep.
And people actually buy this shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's YouTube people, like testimonials where people have purchased her water, and I don't know what they do with it, drink it or...
High quality bathwater, though.
Yeah, I would hope so. It's like some bath bomb in
You're
there.
shitting me.
I swear, it's real. You can, yep.
Somebody was telling me that there's a hot girl in New York that he knows through his somebody else, a girlfriend or whatever, and she once a month sells shit to a guy, a bag of shit to a guy for $300.
Meanwhile, I get up every fucking morning and go like plug away at a day job.
You could just
beat
be
my head against the
selling.
wall just so I can get by. And there's
Just
some
to get
fucking
by,
broad in
just to
upstate
get
New York
by.
selling her bathwater, and people are actually buying this
No,
shit.
upstate New York is Poop Girl. We don't really
I didn't
necessarily
even
know.
say upstate, by the way. It was New York
It's
City.
just New York Poop Girl, and then Belle Delphine sells her bathwater.
Where are we at right now? Like this is where
was
we've come
Palm
to
City,
as a
Florida,
society.
I think this is the culmination of human evolution. We now buy bathwater from
I think it would be
fellow humans.
de-evolution. Like that's where we're going.
No, we're definitely evolving. This is next. We're gonna grow wings. This is just the last step.
You guys,
The last we're in the pupil stage right now.
until
We're about to be some beautiful fucking butterflies.
Yep.
as we become more and more
upset
progressive,
about
we
everything.
just need to accept these things, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to go on the record is about 30 minutes after my morning coffee every fucking day, I poop, and I would give that shit away for free if anybody would like it. So,
Yeah. If our viewers want,
especially if
Stories
you're using
poop.
it to fertilize something that you're going to eat later.
yeah, you could say.
Sorry, I just popped into my head. I know what I want to talk about.
You just
tonight.
popped into your head?
I just popped into my
Hi,
own
Charles.
head.
It's Charles.
Yes.
Welcome back. Glad you're back at the helm of your body.
Hey, Charlie. It's Chuck. I just want to let you know
The
that
twin
we can
was
talk
taken
about
back
this.
over for a second.
Yeah.
The parasitic twin is just made his way.
The body is gone, but his mind is still inside Charlie, and that is who's suggesting the topic tonight. What is your topic tonight, Charlie?
Yeah.
I'm just going to dive right into it. So yesterday,
Michael Phelps that motherfucker?
I'm in Michael Phelps. What?
Head first into the deep end. Let's go.
Well, no, he's a swimmer. The diver was Greg Louganis.
I feel like he could.
Greg Louganis.
I'm sorry. His first suffix is, or the prefix is lug, and the suffix is anus.
Yes.
Lugianus. Lugianus.
It's like it's in the same way that like Hugh Jackman is actually Huge Ackman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, yesterday I get home, and we have a pest control guy that comes to our house, and he comes once a month. Never have any issues with bugs in our house.
Does he rip out of his skin suit and become a giant alien?
The outside of our house is a different story because we live in South Florida, so we get some terrifyingly strange bugs in Florida. So yesterday I go to let the dogs out, and when
I'm sorry, who let the dogs out?
When I go to open the door,
Get back, Scruffy.
it felt like a fucking blue jay hit me in the face.
No.
Like I just feel this thing smack me right in the face as soon as I open the door.
It was that large.
Are you talking about the MLB team?
I grab my face and get a hold of it and fling it off, and it's a fucking cockroach about this big.
That's it.
Palmetto bug.
A palmetto bug.
Throw the whole face
flown
away.
straight into my face. So after I got done doing the full body.
Hold on one second. For the audio listeners, how big? You said this big, but for the audio, how big is a palmetto bug?
He was the size of an average thumb.
Yeah.
Human thumb.
Yep.
For sure.
Like
Easy
this,
peasy.
this guy had been eating on some serious trash.
Ugh.
I
hate it.
I think
hate
his
that story.
dick was bigger than mine.
I hate it.
So anyway, I flung him off, and I see him, and I look around for something to kill him with. Well, I finally find something, and I look up, and he's gone.
No.
Gone.
No, it's okay if it's gone.
So-
throw the whole house away.
I honestly,
inside.
I was almost like, fuck it, it's his house now. I'm just gonna.
I'm moving.
I'll be out on the 3rd.
He's claiming squatters' rights.
For
So-
sale by a new owner.
I immediately text my roommate because he's getting ready to come home with his girlfriend in a little bit, and I was getting ready to leave. So
As of anybody would be.
So I wanted to give him a heads up because, shit was about to get real. And I said, fuck it. I had 20 minutes. So I turned the lights off in the bar area at our house, and I sat in the corner and just waited and waited and waited. And finally I see this massive motherfucker coming up the wall. And I got him locked in my sights, and for a second I felt like Muldoon in Jurassic Park. Like I was focused on one, but there's gonna be two coming from the sides.
Clever girl.
And I grabbed paper towels, and I thought I was gonna put a hole through in the wall. I hit him so hard.
You were going to Kyle that shit right through the drywall.
Put it this way.
Hold on. You hit paper towels so hard into a wall that you thought you were going to put a hole
I
through it.
guarantee you, this fat motherfucker blocked our septic tank because I had to flush twice to make sure he went down.
Oh, he's a hot log.
No fat shaming here on the show, Charlie. Come on, it's 2019.
It was massive.
They're big. They're big enough to where if you look at they actually have facial features. Like if you look at one close enough, they basically
so
all look
gross.
like Ray Liotta.
They're so
you
gross.
just look dead at a man who worked 8 years outside for a living and told me about a bug being big. I've seen them. I've lived
Jordy's
with
seen
them.
some shit in the heart of the Everglades that would turn your hair white.
Charlie was afraid of my Instagram for a long time.
You got what's spookiest thing you have on your Instagram?
Probably like
Picture him smiling.
Yeah.
Aww.
Wah, wah, wah.
Hurtful.
No, it's probably to people as far as reactions goes. It's either the spider that I used $1 bill to give a size reference to, and it was about the same size.
Oh shit.
Or for me personally, it's like fucking cottonmouth and moccasins, etc.
Yeah.
Those are
They'll
because
get
they're
you.
aggressive.
And they'll kill you.
Nope.
I've been on an airboat, and I had one chase the airboat. We circled around it just because I was like, holy fuck, that's a huge moccasin. So my brother kept circling around it, looking at it, and was trying to attack the fucking 19-foot boat.
They don't give a
We
shit.
were in an airboat in the Everglades one
scary
time.
monster.
And about 10 o'clock at night, frog gigging. And for those of you that don't know what frog gigging is, you go out and you catch bullfrogs from the airboat. And you eat their legs.
Only our
With
resident
a
country
mini-
dumpster would.
Yeah, with a mini pitchfork, by the way.
Yeah, so I'm sitting down in the front of the airboat, and my cousin is flying through the tall reeds, and he stopped for a second, and he's kind of just moving along, very slowly, checking everything out.
Yeah.
And I was sitting down the front, and a rat jumped into the airboat, and I immediately
Charlie
jumped
out
over
of
the
it.
edge.
Yep. I knew that was coming.
into a sea where there could potentially be more water rats.
Well, I'm sure there was alligators. It's pitch black. I can't see anything from, other than where the spotlights are shining.
Right.
But I would rather be in the water with an alligator than in a boat with a fucking rat.
Or your cousin.
Yeah, well,
I fucking hate my cousin.
He's also a rat, that motherfucker. I spent 3 years inside.
yeah, I don't like those things at all.
Yeah.
What, cousins?
Cousins.
Fuck them.
Cousins. Literally fuck them. What?
I mean, this is
I'm
we're
not
in the
that
South.
country.
You
We
can get
need to
away with
have.
that.
Yeah, he's not a real country dumpster.
South Florida, now West Virginia.
Hey, now
Fair.
my mom's from West Virginia. You take that shit back.
Mama.
She is a mountain mama. In fact, she has a sticker on her vehicle. I'm pretty sure that says mountain mama.
I love that.
Speaking of
Does
my
she have
mother,
one that says coal miner's daughter?
no, but we do have coal miner family.
I know you do.
Back in the day,
I know you do.
you know what's funny? All my wild uncles, like her uncles, I guess. You still call them uncles, even though it's like your great uncle.
Right.
Who
Or at
wants
least
to have
we
to
do
put
in
all
our.
the extra words in front of
Yeah,
it.
exactly. At least it was very confusing
Why
when I
say
was.
Oh, this is
Three
my
words.
great twice removed uncle.
This is my grunkle.
Ferdinand on
Grunkle.
my mom's
Yeah, there
side.
we
Yeah, just call him a grunkle.
So my uncles were known as Wildmen. We're Hatfield descendants, by the way.
I think I recall you telling me that.
Yeah,
before.
so they were known as wild people, and now one of the most wildest
Wild
is like
people.
a fucking Southern Baptist preacher, and everybody's found God, and everybody's nice
So
now.
they've domesticated. They're not feral.
Yeah.
anymore. They're
But there are some stories up in the mountains about people disappearing, etc.
Can you tell me on the way to town? Yeah, it's back the way you came.
I can tell you where to get moonshine. I can tell you where there's a bunch of houses
Bodies?
with no power. No, I can't tell you that.
I mean, you could, but you
I have
shouldn't.
cousins in Louisiana. You
I've
can't
got-
get to their house unless you take a Piro.
I know you told me about it. And wait, you got some cousins with fun names.
I do, yes.
The
I
Lumpy.
have several cousins
Grumpy,
in
Stumpy.
Louisiana that I don't know their first names.
Right.
I only have my entire 37 years of existence. I've only ever known them as their nicknames.
Sloth.
Rowdy, Runt, Scrap, Tiger.
I love
And
that.
I know their last name is Avance.
Okay.
For the
And,
listeners,
it sounds
real
like a
quick,
car rental
Charlie,
place.
For the listeners and me, what's a Piro?
Piro is
boat type thing?
it's picture a canoe, but skinnier. It's
Carved out of a tree and in Africa.
pretty much. It looks like you chopped a pine tree down and hollowed it out.
Okay.
I want to let you know.
It's very thin and very shallow. So
Charlie,
it can
you're getting-
get through. You could almost take one in a ditch.
You're getting very
I see.
close to describing something that would be found in a jungle, Charlie.
Perhaps fashioned by some jungle dwelling folk. What do you call them?
Jungle dwellers, actually.
Jungle dwellers.
What are you getting at?
What are you trying to say? This is my Charlie impression. What are you trying to say? All right. So
Where's the detonator? You never give it to an ordinary son of man.
so my mom, perfect segue. Thank you.
Yeah. Speaking of detonators.
Speaking of my mother, who actually is probably you've met my mother. She's
I have,
like
yes.
the sweetest lady on the planet. It's so strange that my brother and I are her children. But yeah, she's like
Yeah.
this lady was born to be a mom and a grandma. Like she's on this planet for those two specific roles. But at any rate, she likes to give a lot. And she'll go to Goodwill, Salvation Army, Belle's outlet store,
I love that.
JC Penney, whatever. She'll buy something that's on sale thrice over.
Just like a little knick-knack
It's
for
like
the boys.
52 cents. I got you these Real Legend, REEL. It's a Florida fishing pun. Bright orange board shorts that are of a style from a decade ago. Because I knew you'd love them, Jordan.
I thought you might like these. They're 10 years old. Another man's balls have been at them.
No. Some of these are brand new.
Oh, okay.
They're just heavily discounted because nobody bought them.
Oh, you're talking about Bell's Outlet. I thought we were still
All of
on
them. Some of them are Goodwill.
Marshalls.
Right.
I got you some Jensen Beach wrestling team
You know how
gym shorts.
you know how popular you are
Because,
on the Jensen
you know,
Beach wrestling team.
You never went to the Jensen Beach High School.
I was able to come
And B-
across 7 RJ Gators t-shirts.
Yeah.
Discounted price.
Here's some more. So Real Legends is embarrassing to me personally. I hate anything, including boat names, and I'm sorry to our listeners. But if your boat has Real, REEL, in the title, you are about as original as a white male being born.
My cousin wanted to name his boat She Likes It Rough, and his wife wouldn't let him.
See, the least that doesn't say real, and I'm fine with that. So at any rate, here's another example. She goes to Colorado, not me, she and my father, and she brings back a shirt that says Colorado, I like it on top, and there's a mountain.
Okay.
Now, I don't actually think she understands the sex pun because that's
she
how
definitely didn't.
No, so this is how angelic my mom is.
Sounds
She's
like a
like
wholesome
super
lady.
innocent and doesn't get that kind of stuff. And whenever we have to explain a joke to her, usually it ends with her punching you in the arm.
Plus, Geordie had to explain to her that he's a power bottom.
Yeah, easily.
That must have been a tough conversation.
Yeah. So, Mom,
Generate all the thrust from the bottom.
yeah. So that's why I do lunges and squats in the gym.
Yeah.
I could break a dick right the fuck off. Anyway, so
You thrusted the cum right out me.
So she also gave me my grandmother's king size mattress that my grandmother probably purchased in either the 70s, not mattress, I'm sorry, comforter set, like the whole shebang.
Good.
That my grandmother probably purchased in either the 70s or the 80s. And it's like in the modern style.
Right.
Which is awful if you consider that it was in the 80s. So it's got like triangles of different colors all over it. And it's black and teal and some shade of pink and some shade of purple. And it's just awful.
I'll fucking take that. I love the 80s.
You'll have to go to Goodwill.
Honestly, same.
I'm sorry, Mom, but when I finally unburden my vehicle full of things that you've given me and they make it to my closet, then my wife gets angry that there's just a bunch of shit that nobody's ever going to wear or use sitting in our closet. But I'm too nice to tell you anymore because I've said it so many times, dude. Like, I'm like, hey, how about on Christmas? We just tell each other we love each other this year.
So I don't have to.
And she's like, well, I've already bought you 476 gifts. I'm like, it's fucking February, Mom.
I already bought you a whole brand new set of Precious Moments figurines that
Now,
your wife will hate.
Here's the other side of this coin that I fucking love. She'll be like, do you think Lena will like this? And I'm like, yep. So for the listeners, I'm shaking my head no and then saying yep. 'Cause I fucking love when my mom hands something to my wife, super excited, and then my wife has to be, nobody would upset my mom like this. Like, this is how genuinely nice and sweet she is. She's so fucking lovable and awesome. She would go out of her way to do anything. If I told her you're my friend, she would go way the fuck out of her way on the first time meeting you just to make you dinner, give you a place to sleep if you needed it. You know what I mean? Like,
I love that.
Dude, that's how she is. So
I love your meemaw.
yeah, this is just my mother. My mama is, we call her mama.
Mama.
She's a little bit more rigid. She's sweet.
She's a little more polygonal.
She's sweet as well, but she's not as like, she's not going to go out of her way to talk to anybody, etc.
Right.
You know, as you do when you get old.
Yeah.
Ish.
You don't want to, like, after
Angry.
a certain age, it's like, you don't need to meet more people.
Nah.
Why cultivate another friendship?
Yeah. So, but yeah, I love that shit. She'll give it to my wife, and my wife's like, oh, thank you so. She's actually a pretty good actress, as I find most women are.
Yeah.
They can fake the fuck out of something. And I'm not talking orgasm, people. I have an awesome 4 or 5 star penis. I think, as we discussed with the Fansky episode,
It's been rated by Kelly Blue Book
on Airbnb, the Mile High Club section.
Airballs and boner.
So yeah,
You got.
I love it. There's one shirt that says "Sweating for my wedding." It's like a workout, like
So you look good.
tank top, and it's got a diamond in the middle. She gave it to my wife when we were engaged.
Oh.
I
But
fucking love it, and I always say "sweating for a wedding."
But it could have maybe been construed as like, you're a little fat for a wedding dress, sweet pea.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think about that shit, but women certainly do.
Yeah, for sure.
I think right now she's had this. We've been married for 4 years ish. 2015, 2019. Yep, 4 years.
Yep. You did it.
And,
That's your second math of the whole episode.
Yeah, hey,
Geordie.
hey.
You did it.
As a guy that used to do math outdoors,
Yeah.
I should be a little quicker on the draw.
Yeah.
Is math outdoors harder than doing math indoors?
Yeah, so imagine doing math while also getting stung by wasps and bitten by fire ants and sweating balls at 104 heat index outside. You got fucking chub rub between your legs. You need some Gold Bond.
Yep. So it's essentially, you could have just shortened that by saying, like, imagine doing math while also contemplating maybe
Suicide.
Yeah.
You're knee deep in water, and you hope you don't drop the field book notes with all the shit that you just wrote down. Even though it's waterproof and the pencil's designed, you don't want to pick it up.
That makes me very tired thinking about that.
Yeah, I used to be about 100 pounds lighter.
Yeah, I can imagine so.
Yeah, that chub rub wears out real quick. You grind it to pieces. Just dust.
It just erodes at the thighs.
All your crotch is dust in the wind.
Also, I'm going to shift gears a little bit. What are your guys' thoughts on...
I didn't know this was a manual show.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm shifting into, I don't know what gear this is.
Park.
Oh my God.
Park. I'm shifting into park. What do you got? What are your guys' thoughts on the raid on Area 51 come September 20th?
I can't wait to watch a whole bunch of people. I hope. All right, here's my thoughts.
I feel like this
It's up to
controversial.
1.1 million people have signed this petition.
Right.
Okay, I think 1 or 2 people are going to show up. You know.
Yeah. Well, I'd bet you
Not a lot of people have follow through nowadays.
Yeah.
If let's say hypothetically 3,000 people show up.
That's insane. That would be an insane thing to say.
That would be great. However,
Would it?
I hope that some news organization is just like, we don't give a shit. We're gonna film this.
Yeah.
And you see all these dumb motherfuckers rushing a military institution, and then you see that Apache helicopter come up over the fucking ridge and just start laying them to waste.
I mean, I hope I don't see that.
And then the
That'd
very
be
next,
terrible.
No,
I
because
don't
you know
want the
what?
loss of
Let the
life.
fucking stupid people weed themselves out.
I can understand the Darwinistic.
That's my whole thing. Is I don't personally want to see people die, but God Almighty,
feel
at
like
what
that
point do
goes
we stop
against exactly what
coddling
you
these
just said.
fucking
Yeah.
morons?
That's the exact opposite of what you just
It's
said.
well, no, my point is that you have a military institution. It's signs listed. Hey, no trespassing. Violators will be met with deadly force.
Yeah.
You know, I see a fucking keep out sign in a restaurant, and I'm like, I probably don't need to go in there.
Why is
Right.
there a keep out sign in the restaurant? You would think they want customers.
Yeah, well, it's on like a private room.
Oh,
But,
Probably like a.
you know, if somebody's dumb enough to do that and think that there's not going to be a repercussion, because you know the very next day, if that happens, they're going to be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe the government fired on us." You know, they're fucking telling you guys what's it set for September. They're telling you months in advance. Do not do this.
Yeah.
Don't do this.
here's the first thing I think about. The poor fucking military guy there with a rifle, like, oh my God, I
Has
actually
to ruin that
I
party.
have to shoot this person. Now,
Well,
there
you
are
know,
people that I know of that are cool with that. They want to shoot people.
Yeah, but the outskirts of that
military.
area is guarded by black right or black.
Oh, mercenary group.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
the
remember
Black
the-
Hawk Down.
No, it's
No,
I
it's the
forget
Black
name of
Hawk
the
Oh, Black
company.
Keys.
It's a private
Black
military
Moth Super
organization.
Rainbow.
Black eyed peas.
It's a private military organization that patrols the outskirts, and they don't give a fuck.
Black Monday.
Like,
Is Fergie in that one too?
Black Monday, yes.
Ah, yes. Here's
They
my
have to block out thoughts of you so they
here's
don't.
my other chime in.
Feel the
Bob
pain.
Lazar, the guy that blew the whistle on that whole thing, was talking about S4, which is 50 miles south of Area 51.
Right.
So understand this. He says the compound that he worked in, where he saw UFOs, is 50 miles south of Area 51. So the entire premise of this fucking show up to Area 51 and rush the gates is
Steal it,
50
alien.
miles north of where it should be if you're actually trying to find the aliens and alien technology that may or may not exist.
Yeah, and all the alien technology is actually hidden in the vault at the Bellagio.
Is that?
Yeah, that's the
plot of Ocean's
That's the plot of
16.
Ocean's 27.
Damn, I was
So they come
faster.
out. Yeah, I think Zac Efron will be in that one.
Yeah.
Did you guys, by
be
the way,
about
did you
George
ever see the
Clooney's
spinoff Ocean's 8?
With all,
Oh,
with all the
no.
gals.
Oh,
Women?
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Was it any good?
I thought the plot of that was just 8 women getting together trying to fucking like open up a safe deposit box at the bank.
What? What?
Why did you think that?
What?
Because it was so dumb. There was no lead up. They just one day, hey, here's the movie. Hey guys, here it
That's
is.
true.
We
I
haven't
never
talked
saw
about
any trailers for it.
Nothing about it, and I thought it was a direct to DVD like release.
I mean, it had my lady Jay Roberts in it, didn't it?
Probably.
Who?
Julia Roberts.
Oh,
Was she not in it?
I think she was
don't
in
know.
the actual Ocean 11-ish.
I know my roommate. My roommate tried to watch it with his girlfriend, and I think they made it like 20 minutes into it.
And then they said,
quit.
no, thanks.
Yeah.
And
Not
then
for
they
me,
started
bye-bye.
making sweet, sweet love because all the ladies were so
That's
hot.
what it was. It's not for lack of interest in the movie. They were just doing naughty sex moves to each other.
I can feel your penis.
I can feel your penis, baby.
While we're on the topic of movies, are you
Oh, I
guys
think
going to
I'm
go
gonna
see
say
Spiff Hobbs and Shaw? I'm thinking of Hobbs and Shaw.
Our dear sweet baby Mike, we miss you. Also, probably not. I didn't have that's like sort of a spin-off of the Fast and Furious franchise.
Did they lose you with the Fast and Furious franchise when The Rock opened the car door and redirected a torpedo with his bare hands?
That's not.
With his
They
bare hand.
lost to me years ago after Tokyo Drift when they strayed from the plot entirely. I was like,
The
You
plot
pooped?
of
the super good plot, the very intricate, meaningful plot of the Fast and Furious
Asian
franchise.
gang that was selling DVD players, or the guys that were robbing the trucks for all the cassette decks.
That, like I said, the very meaningful, poignant plot of the main arc of the Fast and Furious franchise. And then they just sort of branch out and they tell the story of a country dumpster that goes out to Japan to race some
Did you guys?
Why do we got to use country dumpster?
some Toyota Supras.
We don't have to use him.
And also, at that point, they had come out with Biker Boys, and I thought it was a lot more fun because they had Kid Rock in it.
Did you know that that Beck owned 2 turntables and a microphone
He did.
and a Devil's Cut?
The Devil's, in his mind.
In
So
his
that wasn't
mind,
really a
oh.
material possession, but
Okay.
he was a minimalist.
I thought it was a devil's haircut.
I felt like
Devil's haircut.
Yeah, I felt like somebody that made it to the radio and MTV would have owned more things,
Yeah.
but I guess not. He's a minimalist.
Well, he was an interesting guy. He would shave his face with some mace in the dark.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I could. Look, I got Beck lyrics out the ass. You want to keep
Literally,
going on
you
this
should see
bit?
his
We could do
tattoos.
this, bro.
All right. Well, is it just about story time, or is it just about story time?
I think it's just
I
about.
think it's pretty
story time.
close to
I think
story
it's
time.
peppered
I'm
with
kind of
story time.
excited because
Would you like to-
you gave us a lot of preamble.
Would you like to pay
this.
the bills first?
We'll play the Bills at the end.
We'll play the Bills.
We'll play the Bills at
the
the end.
Buffalo Bills.
The Buffalo, but we're gonna play the Bills. We're gonna lose horribly because there's 3 of us, and my arms are small, and I can't play football.
My gut is large, but that's about it.
You protect me for a second. But okay, so I would give you guys like a title for the story, but I just want this to sort of wash over you with. All I will say is that this is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me in my whole life.
Is this recent?
No, this is going back a few years. So,
Is this a bad time to tell you that I have to pee really, really bad?
oh no, you shouldn't
Just-
leave.
I won't leave. But
okay.
I'm just gonna pee right now.
Okay, yeah, just let it ride. So, a couple years back, I'm going to visit some friends in in Nashville, old Music City. It's Music City, right? They call Nashville Music City.
Maybe the
Sure.
country music city.
Country Music City. So I was going to visit.
You can make it here. You make it anywhere.
That's right, Nashville.
Yep.
If you can make it in one of our many, many karaoke bars,
I heart Nashville.
you can make it anywhere. So I'm at the airport. I've got checked in, everything. I'm just sitting at the terminal waiting to board the plane. And not that it's relevant, but just to paint a picture, a more heavy set, older African American woman comes and sits down in a chair adjacent to me. So we're facing each other. And and you know how sometimes when you're boarding a plane and they do the
Pokey pokey.
and then you turn yourself around.
Yeah.
But no, sometimes when you're boarding a plane, they do it like in Group A, Group B, Group C.
I feel like that's
I've
every
been on
time
a plane
I've boarded
since
a
like
plane.
99.
Okay, well, so that was happening. They call Group A, and she's looking at her ticket, and she sees me looking at my ticket, and I can see her like kind of like looking at me, and I was like, I feel like she's going to say something to me. And sure enough, she goes, "Excuse me, are you in Group B?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes,
Wanna fuck?
which I would have,
Sure.
me being the person that I am,
You just said yeah.
with the fear of disappointing the stranger, I'd be like, yeah, okay. But so she goes, are you in Group B? And I said, yeah. And she goes, do you have a free arm? Which I thought was a weird way to pose the next question she was going to ask me. She goes, do you have
Hell yeah, this is America. Both my arms are free.
both these biceps are fucking liberated from the English. But no, she was like, do you have a free arm? And I said, yeah. And without needing any more context, because I am the person that I am, was just like, yeah, yeah, I got a free arm. And she goes, okay, because I have this bag, which is pretty heavy, but I can manage this one. But I can't really get this one because it's not quite as heavy, but I have carpal tunnel in this hand pretty bad. And normally I would just sling it up onto my shoulder, but I don't think I can even do that because my hand hurts.
Tough shit. Kick it all the way to the fucking terminal.
If I said that to her. Tough shit, lady.
So it ended up being a bomb.
So me being the person that I am, I was just like,
of marijuana.
okay, I'm gonna carry your bag. Yeah, it just has like a bunch of small guns and drugs in it.
It's just all various sized dildos. And they stop you and random check.
I figured, because we had already gone through security, so whatever it wasn't, bottles of liquid or guns or like body parts or whatever. So I was like, yeah, I'll carry
bottles of guns
or bottles
or liquid body parts.
Jesus, it's just a bunch of Soylent Green. No, okay. So this lady hands me her bag, and it wasn't light. I had just had the one bag, so I'm carrying her bag, and we're waiting in line to board because they call Group B, and we're waiting to be seated, and we get to talking because after you ask a stranger to do something, you sort of owe them a little bit of conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to lubricate the process.
Exactly. So we get to talking, and it's very pleasant conversation. She's asking me like, oh, do you live in Nashville, or are you just visiting? I was like, oh, I'm going to visit some friends. And it was just overall very pleasant, very friendly. And then through some sheer act of God, just pure serendipity, we end up sitting right next to each other on the plane.
Well, you were in Group B, so you've already narrowed it down pretty heavily.
Yeah, so we're sitting next to each other on the plane. She's got the window seat. I'm in the middle, and there's another strange. Actually, no, there was no actual seat, so it was just like.
Why do I feel like this is a lot of build up to a Mile High Club conversation?
That you were busted for because you said you were embarrassed.
Yeah, well, guys, really, you gotta. You're gonna have to ride this one out with me because it
sounds like you rode one out too.
So we're sitting on the plane and we're talking, and obviously we take off, and it's a very business as usual kind of beginning to a flight. And we continue talking, and she's actually a very nice lady. She was one of 8 children. She was on her way to Nashville for her 30-year high school reunion. She owned a restaurant with 2 of her sisters, and she's a very nice lady. And the conversation sort of transcends from like friendly to like convivial, dare I say even gregarious. We developed a bit of a rapport between.
Dare I say I gotta go to the fucking dictionary to figure out what convivial means.
Really?
So at any rate, we're having a good time. We're laughing. I'm cracking jokes, and we're going back and forth.
Cracker jokes.
I was just telling white people jokes. She was loving it.
That's what they mean by cracking.
And at one point, it not only did it get like friendly, but for a time, it dangled precariously.
It dangle precariously
on the precipice of being borderline like flirtatious?
Nice.
Our interactions. Now, mind
Can you give me an example of something flirtatious that was said? Like,
long story short, he skipped seeing his friends and ended up at a 30-year high school reunion for like Fife fucking high school.
No, there was just like there were times where she would just like grab my arm and just be like, "You're crazy" or whatever. Just little things.
Okay, so the touch thing that women do when they want you to do something for them.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of.
Did she grab your free arm or your?
It was my free arm.
Nice.
So no, she grabbed this arm because she was to the left of me. She had the window seat, and then I was on the aisle, and but it was overall very nice. And I had been drinking throughout this whole process, so that's something that you guys should know. So
I've never had a doubt.
You knew I was drinking.
You're gonna make me pee my pants.
At some point, her name was Deborah. I don't know if I told you guys that. Her name is Deborah.
Is this important?
Well, not really, but it's only important to
when I shout it out later in the story.
No,
I do want to say that when you first mentioned this woman, you led with, "This is not relevant to the story," but there was this woman across the way from me.
But I just wanted to describe to you what she looked like. She was a heavy set gal.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
African-American.
I misunderstood that.
And she was dressed to the nines also. Like she looked like she was going to church. Okay. So at some point during the conversation, I had knocked back quite a few of these bad boys. So I was ready for a nap.
These bad boys being bourbon?
Yes.
For the audio.
For the audio listeners. Yeah, sorry. So I turned to her and I said, well, Deborah, I've had quite a bit to drink and I'm feeling a little tired. So I think I might take a little bit of a nap.
I'm a little tired from carrying your heavy fucking bag onto this airplane.
May I use your breasts as pillow?
I use the big old titties.
Let me see them tig old bitties.
So she was like, okay. She was like, if we're about to, land or whatever, I'll wake you up and let you know. And I was like, okay. I'm like, and I went to sleep. And something must have happened. Like I must have like made the miracle of time passes, right? And I wake up. Now, as I wake up, I must have like shifted my body or made a noise or something because I'm to the side, right? I'm sleeping. And as I wake up, she turns and looks at me. And so as I open my eyes, I see Deborah. She's just looking at me. And then she looks down at my lap. And then she looks back up at me. And the once very pleasant expression on her face became like, me looking at her face, I thought she just felt something and that the plane was going down. Yeah. And she looks down at my lap and then looks up at me and she's like, and the next 3 words she said to me,
I love you.
horrified, still are seared into my brain.
You had an NRB.
I had a fucking boner, right?
Yep.
So she looks down at my lap and I'm awake. I've just woken up and I'm still sort of drunk.
Out of it.
And the next 3 words she said to me, guys, seared into my brain because I feel like she didn't process fully what was happening.
Need some help?
Before? No.
No. That's where I thought you were going.
How's it taste?
Once again, the look on her face made me think the plane was about to go down. She goes, put it down. She looks at my wiener and said, put it down. And I
it's
said,
not a dog. You
like
can't
it's
just
fucking
euthanize
old
it.
Yeller. I'm going to take it and put it down.
She says, put it down.
Bye,
and
boy.
I said, and I, like I said, I just woke up, so I'm like half drunk, groggy, and now I'm scared because
you're afraid you have a gun in your hand now.
Now, did I fucking sleep gun? Did I get a
fucking the air marshals coming and tackling you?
So I was like, oh, what? And she's like, put it down. I looked down and like I was like, put what down? She looks and she points to my lap and she goes, your fang. And I was like, what? And I looked down, I was like, oh no. And also, I didn't tell you this, I was wearing sweatpants. So all this very visible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Very like
out
Heather
there for
Gray.
the whole aisle to see.
very, very, they were gray sweatpants.
Heather Gray is like the worst camouflage ever.
Yeah. You're not hiding a pee in Heather Gray sweatpants. So she goes, put it down. And I went, what? And she goes, your fang. And I looked and I was like, oh no. And I was like, I'm sorry. It wasn't, I didn't. And she's just like, she's getting mad and she's being very loud and we're on a plane.
God.
And so now fucking sure enough, from the back, here comes a fucking flight attendant and she's standing like,
well,
here.
to be fair, this is exactly what you need, a fucking flight attendant.
I mean, well, that's apt for fucking. So I was like, oh no. And she comes and she's like, what's wrong? And in my brain, like real quick, my half drunk, half asleep, very scared brain, I was like, all right, Billy boy, we got to get out ahead of this real quick. Because if you don't start talking, right now, Deborah's going to definitely mention your thing to the fucking flight attendant.
I left my gun in my bed. I mean, damn it.
So I was like, all right, we gotta find a way to get out in front of this, Bill. Let's do the thing right now. And like fucking 2 bald tires spinning hard, 3 deep in Mississippi mud. I'm not fucking, my brain's going nowhere and I'm getting desperate. And eventually I'm just like, say words right now. Just do it. Say anything. And I looked up at the flight attendant and this is all my stupid, drunk, sleepy brain could muster. I looked up at the flight attendant and I went, oh no, I made a sleep mistake. I had a sleep mistake. That's what I fucking said. I made a sleep mistake to a flight attendant. And there's, mind you, other passengers are looking, and I just said I made a sleep mistake. And
you could have said worse things, man.
And then Deborah pipes in and she goes, a sleep mistake. I was like, I'll just move. Can I move? Should I move? And like Deborah's like, yeah, I want him to move. Can he move?
Can you do a fold up maneuver quickly?
Like,
I'd have got up, moved, and I would have grabbed her fucking suitcase and been like, I'm taking this heavy bitch with me too.
I would have definitely done the full.
I brought it onto
And
this plane. I could take it out.
And all this effectively killed my erection very quickly. This whole interaction, which probably took all of about 11 seconds from her going, put it down, to the flight attendant coming up and me saying I made a sleep mistake.
Just the thought of putting it down makes
put it down.
Lose.
Yeah. When a woman looks at your penis and it's aroused and says, put it down, it goes down.
Well, I mean, it depends on the context.
Right.
If she's like, put it down.
Like,
I
throw
will
it down.
take care.
Oh my, yeah. But she didn't. She was mad. And so I was like, can I move? And then Joe was like, yeah, I want him to move. And I looked at the flight attendant. I was like, are there any available seats? She was like, there's 2 in the back. I was like, can I move there? And she was like, I don't know what happened. I don't want to know. Just if you need to move, you can move your things. And I went, okay. And I reached into the overhead and I was like, in the back of my head, I was like, I hope my penis still isn't like Miley, because now I'm reaching up and I'm in different space.
And
you're
like, 6'2"?
I'm like, 2? Yeah, I'm 6'2", so I'm not
You might even
long
be clear
boy.
in the back of the seat at this point.
Yeah.
Depending on the height.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh God, it was so bad. And and everyone's looking and I'm like, I'm grabbing my shit out of the overhead and I just like do the walk, like the worst walk of shame ever, to the back of the plane. She fucking Rosa Parks to me to the back of the plane. My penis got me in trouble on a plane.
Yeah, but you said earlier that your
Parks.
story tonight was going to give us a lot of ammo for you. Like that shit happens, man. I went to fucking private school in high school.
Yeah.
And I had to wear slacks with a shirt tucked in.
It's in the
and that
name.
shit would happen sometimes. You just get an NRB.
Yep.
It's in the
Sitting
name.
in class,
Private
and I
school.
would just be like, "Oh fuck!" Middle of my Spanish class,
Right.
and I'm like, "Please don't call on me. Please don't call on me. Please don't call on me,
Mm-hmm.
Charlie." And she would call me on, stand up and write this on the board, and I know exactly what the answer is, but I'm like, I don't know what it is. Nope, I would take the bad grade before I'd stand up with fucking no reason boner and get up there.
No reason boner. That's what
Give me
NRB
the fucking
means.
0.
Oh yeah,
I
by the way,
wondering.
that's what NRB means. No reason boner.
I thought you were just NRBs and you had the meats.
No. NRB.
We have
no
a meat.
reason boner.
Bum, bum,
I
bum.
like that. I've never heard that before, ever.
Yeah, me neither.
But that's
It's from the 50s, I think.
But that's my story. That's the single most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me, and it happened at 38,000 feet
With an airplane full of people looking right at you.
The last flight experience I had, I hate flying. I'm terrified of flying.
And what's the other thing?
The woman next to me,
Jungle dwellers.
Yeah, the woman next to me. I get on the plane and she's trying to calm me down. I'm visibly shaking. Like, I don't like it. I've sat down on my seat. I closed my window and I asked the person ahead of me, I'm like, hey, do you mind if I close your window? They're like, I don't care. I'm going to sleep the whole time. So I try to fall asleep before we even take off. And the woman next to me is like, are you nervous? I'm like, yes, ma'am. I'm actually terrified right now. I don't like this at all. Sweetheart, don't worry. I fly all the time. You're totally safe right next to me. How am I fucking any safer next to
worry,
you
baby. I'm
than I
piloting this
am
plane.
sitting next to the pilot? Like, do you have a fucking spare engine in your purse in case we lose number 2 over the fucking Gulf?
Don't worry, baby.
And she's like, I do this all the time. It's okay. And I'm looking up and I feel like when they close off first class,
Right.
if something happens, the plane's going to disconnect.
Right.
We're going to crash and they're going to turn into like the little fucking spy plane from Goldfinger and safely land. But I fell asleep. She ended up saving all my food for me. I woke up, I tried to eat, and I just immediately got nauseous. I was too afraid to get up and go to the bathroom.
Well, you never know.
I was shaking so bad that I couldn't even go to the bathroom. I'm just going to sit here.
Airplane bathrooms?
And that was a 2-hour flight from Fort Worth to Palm Beach. That wasn't even a bad one.
Tour.
The longest flight I was ever on was from Atlanta to Hamburg, Germany, which was 9 hours on a plane.
Oh, you're going home to the motherland?
No, I'm Danish. And
Were
Norwegian.
you returning your Hitler youth knife?
I was. I had to get rid of all the evidence. Me being a very
That's an elaborate scheme to get.
My nose won't stop running. I don't know if my allergies are acting up or if I'm starting to catch a cold. I've been like feverish.
Feverish?
I was going to say fluish and then I was going to say feverish and I just kind of mixed the two.
got me the flavor.
I like that
I've
you
had
wait.
a really bad, like my nose won't stop running.
Yeah.
I like that you wait till like towards the end of the show now that you've been sitting next to us for like over 45 minutes. By the way, I might have the flu.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't.
So I'm
wanna
glad you
lead
guys
with
are
that.
drinking and weakening your immune system.
Well, I didn't want to leave with that. I mean, well, the AIDS is already fucking your immune system up.
True.
Are you there yet? Or are you still at HIV?
I was still HIV.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're all right.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good for a while.
I feel like this is an inside joke that I missed sometime.
Yeah, for the viewers and listeners, I don't actually have HIV or AIDS. Clean as a whistle, as far as I understand.
As far as the last time I tested a decade ago.
The thought process he has is never get tested, never have anything.
True. Yep. It's like a like when you're a baby, if you can't see the ghost, it can't see you.
Oh, dude, my
So just
son
cover your face.
My son does that. He
yeah.
hides under a sheet. So you'll come in, he's looking at you from under the sheet. And then he hides.
Yeah.
So you have to pretend like you didn't see him.
Yeah.
And also you have to pretend like there isn't something sitting up in the middle of a bed where there's no other lumps under a sheet.
I can remember vividly when I was like
One.
5 or 6 years old. I was always afraid when my parents would put me to bed. And I would sleep. I would take the blanket and put it over my head. But I would open up just enough of the blanket so that I could like not be breathing in carbon dioxide underneath the sheet.
Right.
But I would get enough just so I could get fresh air. And I would just sweat my ass off all night. But I felt like if I laid really still and could just barely breathe through the blanket, nothing could see me.
Well, when you live in
Exactly.
those southern country houses like we do, there's a lot of shit that's creepy. I had a similar experience, except for it was my brother with a pillow over my face while punching the other side.
Well, I also
as long as I
barely
I
can
breathe.
suffered from
I
sleep
take these-
paralysis my entire life and didn't know what it was until about 3 years ago.
Oh, well, it's just ghosts.
Yeah, it just goes.
It's just ghosts.
They're inhabiting your body.
If you've never dealt with that,
No, I've had sleep
It's-
paralysis.
it's
a couple times.
horrifying.
Yeah, I know it's scary, man. It's
you
very scary.
wake up, you're still in a dream state, and you see things in the room that aren't there, but you don't know that they're not there. I've woken up and I can't move, and I'll see like old gnarled women, like witches or haunted women, whatever, standing in like the corner of my room, and I'm telling myself, "You're still dreaming. You're still dreaming. You're still dreaming," but I can't like really let
is
that
some
sink in.
spooky shit.
It fucking is terrifying.
Don't you love
Ugh.
the wake up in a dream thing that you sometimes do? Man, that used
the
to fucking
human brain
freak me
is
out.
a very scary thing.
That's bullshit.
My recurring was just the
Fucking hate-
room getting gigantic, which there's like a, like, oh, if you feel like the room is expanding around you, what it's telling you is that you have a lot of stress going on. I fucking hate these
Yeah.
kind of like explanations. Like,
Do
don't
you
explain
have,
away.
Do you have
Yeah.
a recurring dream that's happened like
I used
over
to
the
when I was a
years?
kid. When I was a kid,
Yeah.
it was like
I
the
got
whole
one.
room just fucking growing around me, and I'd be like, "What the fuck?"
I've
After
had,
I thought I woke up, so I'd
Right.
wake up from a nightmare to a room growing, and then I'd wake up.
I've had recurring nightmares like follow me throughout my entire life.
Me too.
And
State to
you'll
state.
wake up. I mean, house to house.
Across the pond.
Motherfuckers.
Fucking, but you wake up and you're like, man, all right, I'm awake. I can settle down. I'll just go back to sleep. But then you go back to sleep and it picks up. It's like you
Yeah.
just paused a movie. It
Dude,
picks up
I've
right
had
where
that
you
too.
left off.
The
dude.
exact same spot
fucking
you woke
nuts.
up
And
in.
they say
And it's always the shit dreams. It's never the one where you're like
No.
getting a bunch
the
of
thing
you're
about it
crushing
is
puss.
they say
I
you
wanna go
dream.
back to
They
sleep
say
with
you
fucking
dream in
caramel
black and
electric
white.
and
They say you dream in black and white.
Right.
Like a very small percentage
that's because in your dreams you're
Of
not
people-
racist.
dream in color, which I can vividly remember colors, but I can also remember feeling pain in my dream.
See, I don't know if I've ever felt pain, but I definitely know that I've had a dream where I was a dog and I was in a house with a very angry old lady and she was chasing me around with a broom. And when I say
That was just Deborah because you had that pink thing hanging out.
I had my lipstick was out. Put it down. Put it down.
Your lipstick. Oh, dog penises. Anyway,
Yeah. But yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Police or police.
Please?
Sleep paralysis, not police.
Sleep
paralysis.
police.
The
The
sleep
dream
police.
police. They come to take me away.
Well, I think we're
It's about time to pay some bills.
I think
Yeah.
we filled adequate time to where we can press the stop button.
we've said enough.
I have to pee so bad.
Yeah, I don't have to be. I'm
Yeah.
good.
I don't know if I have any sponsors lined up for this week. I think this one's all DIY budgeted by us. Well, I'll come up with I'll drum up some new sponsorship next week.
Alrighty. Well,
Sound good?
yeah, sounds excellent. You're going to do like the African skin drums?
Yeah.
for the drumming up the
I don't know what that even
advertisement.
means.
Yeah. Well,
When they take like a hide and they stretch it over a piece of wood,
yeah.
and it's a drum.
I thought you were just going to take us out with the skin flute.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Put it down. Put it down.
Take
All right,
me
well, that's
out
gonna
with
do
the
it.
Skin flute.
That's going to do it for us here at A Literal Show. Once again, I'm your host, Bill, and the lovely Charlie Fletcher, Geordie Young. Follow us on Instagram,
Literal
Twitch.
Show?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, shit. By the way, this week, stay tuned on Instagram and all of our social media. We're doing the vegetarian challenge.
Yes,
Finally.
we're all going to go vegetarian for a
Complete
week.
vegetarian diet for a week. We will be documenting it because I personally will probably fail by breakfast tomorrow.
But
Don't jinx it, man.
yeah, we're all very carnivorous boys here on the show, so we're gonna give the animals a break, or at least try to for 7 business days.
I think no, not business days. 5 business days.
5 business days, two fun boy days.
Can't you eat eggs on a vegetarian? Just not vegan.
Yes. Vegetarian is no red meat, no chicken.
No meat.
You can't go.
I mean,
can't go.
red.
Can't go.
You can eat
White,
fish. I
gray.
think you can eat fish.
No,
as a vegetarian. That's pescatarian.
That's pescatarian.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's just I guess you can go dairy. It's fine.
Yeah, you can 100% go. So here's my recommendation to you guys. Go to like a wing or burger joint and get a
Impossible burger.
or a bean burger or whatever. Every time you're in a pinch, get some cheese pizza or a tropical smoothie. One of the smoothies with protein in it.
Yeah.
Like they have peanut paradise, which is like peanut butter.
I'm gonna try and take it a step further. I'm gonna try and cut out. I'm gonna try and be like a real good boy and not do any like animal products
Okay.
at all.
So you're gonna go vegan.
I'm gonna go not like full true blue vegan, but like I'm just not gonna eat.
You're
products.
gonna eat vegan.
Right. I'm gonna eat like a vegan.
So that's our challenge for the week.
I'm gonna do it.
We'll let you know next Wednesday how it goes.
All right. And what Charlie was getting at in the beginning is we all have access to the Instagram, so we're gonna be posting on the stories, etc., all week. With our progress, with our meals, etc., with our gripes, moaning, and complaining.
And with our most assuredly mistakes that happen.
And with most of our clothes.
Hopefully, there won't be any sleep mistakes, but
Yeah. Or hopefully there will be, depending on what situation you're in.
yeah, but not on the if there are any. We won't put that on the Instagram.
If you want to keep up with it, make sure you give us a follow over at Instagram,
A Literal Show. Twitter, A Literal Show. Twitch.tv, A Literal Show. Search A Literal on YouTube. Search A Literal on your favorite podcast app. We're probably on it. We are on a shit ton of them.
We're trying to get into Pornhub right now, but you can't search us there yet.
Yeah, we need more of a following there as well.
Yeah. Also, we're going to have to get a new camera angle, probably under the table for that one.
Yeah.
Well, also, that's not going to go well with the vegetarian challenge because,
There's lots of
We've
beef
got the
underneath
meat.
this table.
Bum, 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 bum. Good night.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Good night.